Mark asked me to share a few minutes about the impact that Legacy has had in my life. Frankly, that's pretty easy because I was born in this church. But understand, it's not the church that has had the impact, it's the people of this church. One of my first stories is not my memory. It was told to me by my parents and my in-laws. My wife Rhonda and I, we actually first met, it seems like, and they recalled us playing in the dirt behind the backstop at the softball field where our dads were playing on the church softball team. Little did we know that some 20 years later, that was really quite an arrangement that supposedly got started then. I recall wonderful times in Sunday school, chicken dinners, sunrise services on Easter, and breakfasts that featured fresh donuts made by church member and local baker Byron Root. Boy, that was a great memory. I went through the pastor's class when I was 14 and was baptized into faith at that time. That moment was really special to me and really planted a faith seed that would wonderfully take root and grow many years later. Memories of playing piano and organ duets with my cousin Ruth Ann Kendrick, who was the organist here for many years. Those are great memories. There's also funny memories of a paper Christmas angel that fell on my head as I was sitting down to play the piano with a duet. It was really embarrassing at the time, but it's a funny story right now. Rhonda and I were married in this church in a sweltering July day, BC. That's before cooling. It was so hot that the candles in the candelabra were actually drooping over. I was blessed to have godly and wonderful role models in my life, my mom and dad, my grandparents, and also my Uncle Fred, who was an elder here in the church for many years. The way they lived their lives and the godly advice that they gave both formally and informally really had a huge impact on me. The church celebrated with us with the birth of our kids, Mark and Megan. And as you see, there are many memories of sharing and growth and wonderful things that happened in my life in this church. But by far the largest impact came at the death of my son Mark in 1986. When Mark died, Rhonda and I were lost. We ran and really fled the church and fled God in many ways that we were actually gone for about 15 years. We left the church in confusion and wandered around, really not knowing what to do or where to go. But even while we abandoned God and His church, His people did not abandon us. The people of this church rallied around us. Friends that didn't know what to do, but they were there for us. They consoled us. They cried with us. They just listened to us, knowing that they couldn't really help us or heal us. That was really up to God. After being gone for 15 years, Rhonda and I came back to the church in 2000. The church had grown and changed dramatically then, and it was incredible to see the people that God had brought to this church. There was a course offered here called Alpha, and it was the Alpha course where God actually healed Rhonda and I. But as I look back at that, it wasn't the course that made the difference. It was the people in that Alpha small group that really showed us that God was walking with us and revealed to us exactly how God played an important role in healing us. Since then, I've grown in my faith significantly. It was the pastors and the people of this church and the opportunities for learning and growth and doing ministry that really made the difference. Most people won't have a tragedy like I experienced that they'd find that they have to cope with, and frankly, I'm really glad of that. But we all have struggles in our lives, and honestly, I really don't know where my life would be right now had it not been for God and the people in this church. What impact has Legacy had in my life? I think it's summed up pretty well by our mission statement. I am so thankful for those relationships with the people of this church that had impacted my life now, and most importantly, the relationship that I have with God and am growing with God that will impact me for eternity. I'm not sure what the future will bring, but I'm sure glad to be in the arms of God and the loving people of His church here at Legacy.